everybody, this is Steve at Web2ink. In this video I'm going to basically show you how to create your entire site. This is not really going to be so much a step-by-step tutorial, but I've had a lot of people lately ask me, is it easy to build the site? Is it really complex? Is there a big learning curve? Am I going to have to learn a whole new skill? Is it what's the difficulty level of creating a website using Web2ink? And so the point of this video is to kind of show you the whole process from start to finish. So I'm going to do everything from scratch. I do already have several things ready to go, which I'll show you right here. So I have just made a folder on my computer where I've got a bunch of pictures, I've got a logo, I've got some text for some of the pages, some gallery pictures, and I've just kind of put all the stuff that I'm going to use for the website together. So that's really the only prep work that I've done to make this video. But let's go ahead and get started. So I'm on the website, I'm just going to sign up. Alright, pick a template. I'll go with this one. When you're picking the template, I would suggest just, find a template that kind of has the right layout that you want. I mean, all of the colors and pictures you're going to change anyway. So the name of this website I'm making is going to be Big Printin'. It's a domain that I own, so I'm actually going to make this website and we're going to launch it and make it live. It's not going to process payments, but we're going to cover pretty much everything else. Alright. Put in some passwords. Keep that nice and secret. I agree to the terms. Once you click create account, this is going to take a few minutes. Our system's actually like making your website right now. It's like preparing the website, the server space, the template. It's creating an account for you and doing all that stuff. So you got to be a little patient. This process can take up to a few minutes. And when it's done, you'll get an email. You'll actually get two emails. I would suggest you save both of them. One will have a link to this page, which is your login page, and the other one will just have some important account numbers. Let's see here. Let me log in. I'm just going to go ahead and design my site. I'm going to pretty much try to do it at the speed that I would normally do it at, while trying to explain things. So on this first part, I'm going to set up my logo, and that's going to take us to this screen. This is called the customizer. So on this part of your website is where you're going to make a lot of global changes or kind of sweeping changes that will affect a lot of different parts of your website. So your colors, your fonts, this is where you're going to set your logo. So let's just go ahead and take a look at some of this stuff here. Let's start with your logo. That's going to be in this section here called header. And then you're going to go to site identity. Right here, this top part where it says logo, I'm just going to click remove. That's going to get rid of the logo that was there, and you can see that logo that was up there just disappeared. So the nice thing is this is going to let you preview your changes in real time. So I'm just going to click on select logo, and I'll pick this logo that I have right here, and I'll crop it nice and tightly so it fits in there real good. And then now you can see our logo has appeared there. That's a little bit small. Right now it's at 120 pixels, so let's bump it up to maybe 160 and see how it looks. So bumping it up to 160 kind of pushed this down, but that should be fine because we're looking at a reduced screen size. So let's go ahead and keep that the same. If you want to have a different logo for our Retina devices, you can do that. And if you want to have a different logo for mobile devices, you can upload one here as well. And what you can also do is upload a site icon. This is what's called like a favicon. It's that little logo that is in the tab on your browser. So typically you always want this to be about a 500 pixel by 500 pixel file size, but it's going to shrink it down to be super small. I'll just select that for now. And so now we have a favicon. It just looks like these two little marks here. Site title, this will be there automatically. Site tagline. So everything we need to do on this page is done. If this is the only change you're making, you can go ahead and hit publish. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to publish right quick, and then we'll use this back arrow, and I'm going to show you a few more parts of the customizer. So we're still in the header section. Right here, if you click on primary header, that's going to allow you to choose some different header layouts. So this is kind of logo in the middle with the menu below it. This would be logo on the right side. Not a very common layout. So I'm just going to stick with the standard logo on the left side. And then this will let you choose your layout for mobile, where you have a logo and the menu side by side, or you can choose logo and a menu below it. So let's go ahead and go back, and we'll go back to the main menu in the customizer, and let's look at this section called global. This is going to affect the typography, the colors on your site, the container, which is the actual width of the content on your site, and then your buttons. So for example, if I choose typography, base typography is going to be like your paragraph text and sections where you have large blocks of text. Your headings are going to be sections like this. So if we go into headings, we can choose a different font family. I kind of like this one, but let's just go ahead and choose something else. So now you can see that font style has changed. That one's pretty bad. I can't even read it. So we'll just pick something else. There we go. That will work for now. Right here you can determine the weight. So that's going to be how thick the lettering is. So if I put it on 200, you can see the lettering got a little bit thinner. If I put it on extra bold, you'll see that this text is pretty wide now. And then there's other controls here. Really what you want to do is you just kind of want to go in here and play with it, get it the way you like. This top portion will handle all your headings. If you're using different headings like H1, H2 heading, you have control over all those settings here. I like to keep most of my headings the same throughout the website just to kind of make everything real nice. Let's back out of the typography and let's take a look at colors. So this is just going to let you determine what color text is, what your main theme color is, what your link color is, what your link hover color is, and what your heading color is. And we'll go back one. Let's take a look at this button section here. So this is going to be how you control how the buttons on your website look. So the color, right now we have a text color of white and a background color of this kind of reddish hot pink. So if I click right here and I want to make my buttons green or blue, it's just going to instantly change, and I can preview the way that it looks. So if I make the buttons green, it's going to change. I think I'll just, for now, keep the buttons. Yeah, we'll make them like a little bit darker blue or darker green. There we go. Right here, this is going to be the border. If you have a border around your buttons, so right now I'm just putting a top border on there. So if I lock this and I add, then you're going to see the border goes all the way around. And then right here you can select the color and the color of when you hover over it. So say if I wanted a white border, but then when I hover over it, I want it changed to black, I can set it like that, and you can see that the button is now changing as I hover over it. The border is changed from white to black. Right here, this is where you're going to set the text for the button. Once you set this, it's going to apply to all the buttons on your website. Padding. Padding is basically the space, the empty space within your button that's around the text. Usually I don't make any changes here, but if you wanted to, you certainly could. So say I want to add some padding to the top, I could add some padding to the top. Or say I want the button to be wider, but not taller. I could say make 60 on the right and 60 on the left, and that'll give us a little bit longer button. So let's back out of buttons. We'll back out of global. So global and header are where you're going to set a lot of your colors and your logo. I'm not going to go into these other options right now, but I would definitely encourage you to explore these. Just remember that any changes you make, once you hit publish, those changes will be live to your website. I'll set up I'm going to go through the shopping cart wizard real quick. Yes, please. I'm going to set up my print prices and my settings right quick. Let's see here, page setup. Everything here looks good. I'm going to make my maximum upload 5 megabytes just because this is a sample site and I don't want anyone trying it to upload big files. Everything else looks fine. I'll choose a logo for my invoices. We'll just use that same logo. Put in an address. Submit. Alright, I'm going to go to my print processes next. Set this up right quick. I'm going to create a new print process, which will be screen printing. I am going to put in a description. We'll say we can do 8-color printing. Let's add some price breaks here. The minimum will be 12, then we'll go 25, 50, 100, 250, 500, and we'll top out at 1,000. I'm going to do a $20 per color setup. So this is basically my screen charge. And then I'm going to price my screen printing on this sample site based on first color and each additional color. So I'm going to say $5 for the first color, $3 for each additional, $4, $2.50, $3.50, $2.25. Okay. I'm going to do names and numbers, so I'm going to assume $6 for names and numbers. Since I would be doing these, or when I used to do these, we did them all in vinyl, so I'm not really going to have any price breaks for the personalization. Okay, that looks good for screen printing. I'm going to save this. Then I'm going to add another process and call it product price only. And I'm going to leave everything blank. This will come in handy if I'm doing something like banners or large format products where I can control all of the pricing on the product pages. And then let's create one more print process. We'll call it DTG. I'll put in a description here. Leave this at 0. 0 means full color printing. I'm only going to have, we'll have a minimum of 1, and then we'll have price breaks at 12 and 50. I'm not going to have any one-time charges because this is a digital process, but I'm going to price it differently here. I'm going to do the first design side. I'm going to do at $7, $6, and $5. And then each additional side is going to be $5, $4, and $3. So what's going to happen here if you do first design side and additional design side, it's going to take the larger of the two sides and price it as the first side. So if you have a left chest and a full back, that full back will be counted as the more expensive of the two sides. So for that process, that's really all I need to do. So now I've got 3 print processes. Well, 2 print processes and then 1 print process here, product price only, which is going to allow me to control the pricing just from the product settings. So the way the pricing works is with apparel type products, you're going to take your base product price and you're going to add your print price to it. That doesn't always apply with all other products. You might have large format type products where you're just charging a square foot price, or you might have, you know, traditional offset or commercial printed type products, paper products, business cards, postcards. That stuff you're going to want to price differently. You might not necessarily want to add, you might not want to separate the paper and the ink cost on that type of a product. You might just want to have fixed prices for it. So I'm on the order production tab here. I'm going to say my basic orders take 7 days. I'm going to put a few days of the year that we're closed. Christmas, New Year's, what's another one? 4th of July maybe, which would have to be 0704. Oops. Basically any days of the year that you're closed, you just put in here. We're not open Saturday and Sunday, so I'll leave that. And right here, this is the time that you're processing your orders. Not the time of the day that you're open, but the time that you're processing actual orders. So we're going to say 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's always in 24-hour time format. Let's see here. Create an order production. Let me update that first. Alright, creating an order production. Standard, not stabdard, standard. Ships in 7 business days. Price 0. Days 7. Sorting number 1. The sorting for your productions is going to be the order in which they appear to your customer. So standard is always going to be first, followed by your any type of rush productions. Okay, so I've got standard in there. Let's create one more for rush. Rush ships in, we'll just say 3 business days. Price is 25. And I'm going to make that at 25% of the total shopping cart. So you can make it a one-time charge, which would be in dollars, an additional charge for each item, or a percentage of the cart. Most people just choose percentage of the cart. So this is 3 days, and sorting this is 2. I'm going to submit that. Order statuses, I'm not going to mess with this right now, but basically these are the order statuses. These ones are all here by default for what I'm doing. I think these are going to be just fine. If I wanted, I could add more, but I'm not gonna. Right now, I'm going to go over to user discounts. And I'm just going to assume that this website is pretty much a retail-only website. But let's say I do have some wholesale customers, so I'll just make one setup here that's going to take 15% off the product prices and 15% off the printing. We'll apply that to screen printing, and these customers will be tax exempt. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to note that this is for DTG. And this is going to apply to the DTG printing. Tax exempt. And we'll do this one more time. Wholesale, and we'll call it product only. 15% off the product. We don't have to worry about the printing because there is no printing cost. That'll apply to the product prices only. So that's all done. Now I've just made a pricing tier, so people who come to the website to shop will see my retail prices. Customers that I want to give a discount to, I can assign them to one of these pricing tiers, or assign them to all 3 of them. Price quotes, this is a little bit more advanced, so for this video I'm going to skip this, but there is a tutorial on exactly how this works. Custom stores. I definitely want to have stores, and I definitely want anybody to be able to open them. So I'm just going to make sure I've got enabled checked, and any user checked, and admin approval required unchecked. How to handle the profits. I'm just going to do a general upcharge, so that means every store is going to get, anybody who creates a store, the items are going to be marked up 20%, and that will be their profit. I am going to disable the minimums because the stores for this site I want to be the on-demand type stores where people can order all the time and we print and drop ship. So you can have that type of store, or you can have a fundraiser store or a campaign style store where those might run for a certain time, and then they're turned off, and then you kind of gang all the orders together and run them at the same time. I'm not going to do the marketplace, but I am going to allow all the custom store pages. So this will let people make stores. This will let them make their own categories. This will let them use their own, not use their own, but select from different templates. So I'll submit that. So this part that we're doing now is kind of like the initial setup. We're not really designing the site, but we're going to start doing that in just a minute. Import products from Web2ink server. I'm going to skip over that for now because we already have some products that came through with the, there's some sample products in there when you first sign up. There's 13 products in here. These are all shirts. This site, I'm going to focus on apparel, and we're going to add some large format products too. So for now, we're just going to keep the products that we have. Let's see, we'll go back to the dashboard. Set your custom domain name. I'm going to do this right now, but typically I would do this when you're done with building of your website. But I'm just going to put this in here now. And then towards the end of the video, or at some point during the video, I will take a break and go to my domain host, which is GoDaddy, and I will switch the domain record to point to this IP address or to point to this CNAME. That's all you have to do to point your domain to your website. So I'm going to set the website in there for now. And then we're just going to continue working. Okay, that's in there. Let's go back to the dashboard. Okay, so we pretty much have these 5 first steps are all taken care of now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this Pages menu, and I'm going to make sure that I have all the pages that I want on my website. Okay, I do want an About page, Cart, Checkout, of course, Contact Us, of course. All the pages that say Web2ink on them, you never want to mess with those. Those are pages where a lot of the content is dynamically generated, so you want to leave those alone. I've got a home page. I've got an account page. I'm definitely going to want to add a Open a Store page, and I'm going to want to add a gallery page. So let's go ahead and click on Add New, and we'll just say Gallery. I'm going to make this right down here. I'm going to say this is an Elementor full width template. I'm just going to click on Publish. So now we've created that page. It's totally blank, but we've made it. So I'm going to click on Add New one more time, and I'm going to click on Open. I'm going to type in Open a Store. That's going to be the name of this page. So this is going to be a page that I'm going to put in my header as one of my main links. And then that's going to be the page people go to sign up for a store. Okay, so now I've got all the pages I need. I haven't designed them yet, but whenever I'm designing a website, I kind of like to do it in a certain order. Basically, every website or web page has 3 main sections. You have your header, the body of the page, and then your footer. So I always like to make the header and the footer first, and that kind of determines kind of how my site's going to look, what colors I'm going to have. It's just those 2 sections are static on pages, so I like to do those first. So let's go ahead. Right here you have this toolbar that goes along the top. I'm just going to hover over Big Printin' and right click on Visit Site. open it in a new window. And then so we can see, basically the only thing I've done so far is I've added my logo. So there's this section here that we're going to have to customize, and basically all of the content on the pages. So let's go ahead and do the header first. Okay, so let's start with customizing the header. I've got the website open in another tab right here. And what we're going to customize is this top bar right here. So when I say header, this is what I'm talking about, this top bar up here where we've got our logo. In this case, we have a little fly out menu, and we have a little fly out shopping cart. And when I say footer, I'm talking about this portion of the website down here. So let's go ahead and start with the header. Whenever you're logged into the website and you're logged into the admin and you open the actual front end of the website, you're still going to have this toolbar here. So this is going to make it really easy. For this page that we're on, if I click Edit with Elementor, I'm going to be able to edit the page, or I can edit the footer or the header. So now we're going to do the header. And alright, so we've got the header open in Elementor now. I'm pretty much okay with all of this. I think in this scenario I'm going to get rid of the menu here, and I'm just going to add in a normal menu with text. First, I'm just going to change one setting right quick. Let's see here, preferences, editing handles. I always change this to yes. That way when you hover over something, these other little options will come out. So now that that's changed, I'm just going to get rid of this, and let's drop in a menu. So I'm going to type in the search here, nav. That'll bring up nav menu. I'm just going to drop that right in there. And we've got to choose from a menu. So we've got main menu and primary menu. Main menu is perfect. It actually has all of the pages that I want to add anyway. I don't like the order that they're in, so I'm going to show you how to change that in just a minute. But let's go ahead and put this in the middle. It's orange and then it turns to black. Let's make the text black, and then when we hover on it, let's have it change to that orange. That orange is nice. It kind of matches the top of this little hexagonal ink drop logo thing. And then the pointer, we'll keep that black. You know what? Let's change it so there's no pointer. Right now here where it says pointer and it says underline, you can see the black line comes up below it. I'm just going to change that to text. That way when we hover over it, the text is going to expand a little bit and change colors. I think that looks a little bit nicer. Do I want it there, there, or there? We'll just keep it in the middle. You know what? Let's make this a full width header too. And let's make sure this is in the middle. There we go. I'm just going to click update. Okay. So that's updated now. I'm just going to get rid of that part. There we go. Go back. We can see that that's totally updated, but I don't like how this is close there and this is far from here. So let's go back and make a change. And I think that, at least for my taste, that logo's too big. So if you're editing something in Elementor and you want to get a quick preview, just hit this little hide panel button, and that'll give you a little bit better idea of what you're looking at. So let's take a look at this logo right quick. That's a little bit too big for my liking. That's a little bit better. And this, let's give this a justification to the right side. We'll update that. Okay, I'll just go back to the home page. There we go. That's looking a lot better. Much better spacing. Keeping the buttons to a minimum. I don't like to give people tons of options. You're a custom printing company. Someone's going to your website. They want to design stuff and order it, or they want to find out how much it costs. They don't necessarily want to learn everything in the world. So for right here, I try to keep this to a minimum. Maybe my sweet spot is maybe 4 to 6 items in your menu. Now, I'm not saying don't create tons of content, but you'll have plenty of room to put lots of links down here, and you'll have plenty of room to link to other parts of your website within these sections. So let's go ahead and design the footer as well. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of this footer layout at all. I'm just going to get rid of the whole thing. And I'm going to go to this middle file folder looking icon. And I'm going to choose blocks. And then I'm going to go to footer. So this is going to have a whole bunch of pre-made footers that I can just insert into my page, and then I can customize them however I want. So I definitely want to have a footer that's going to give me room for a bunch of links and a subscribe form, but I'd like to have my logo in there as well. So let's do something like one of these right here looks perfect. Let's do this darker one. I'm just going to click on insert. Okay, so we've got our new footer in here. I'm going to make a few quick adjustments. Let's put this to the right. We'll make this a little bit bigger. I definitely don't need all these icons to be pink. Let's make them the same orange. Let's make this pink the same orange. But I don't like how far down this part is. So let me see here. Okay. That's a little bit better. Let's kind of tighten up the spacing. There we go. Social media icons. We'll leave Facebook, Twitter. We don't need Dribble. We don't need YouTube. We don't need Pinterest. Let's change this one to Instagram. Normally right here you would just put in a link to your account. I'm not going to do that for this website because there are no accounts. This is a fake, Big Printing's not a real printing company. Go ahead and save that. Alright, that's good. Let's go back to the home page. Okay, so now we got the header the way that we want, and we've got the footer looking the way that we want. Let's go ahead and get the rest of the site going. Usually once I do the header and the footer, then I start at the home page. So right now we're on the home page. I'm just going to click on Edit with Elementor, and we're going to change our home page up. Okay. I mean, the layout is fine. I don't want that picture in the background. Let's get rid of that. Let's add one of the pictures that I brought in. Let's see here. This looks like it might look nice color-wise. Oh, whoops. We'll throw that in there. Okay, so that looks a little bit dark. Right now we have, this is the background image for this section here. But I've got a background overlay, and that background overlay is a little bit dark for my liking. So I'm gonna, let's take it to about right there. Okay, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I don't like this title, so let's change that. Alright, your one-stop shop for your apparel and printing needs. Let's see here. Let's make that black. See if that looks okay in black. No, it doesn't really look that great in black or orange. So we'll leave it as white. Let's do a little shadow on it. Let's make that shadow nice and dark. And let's have it drop down. We don't want much blur. Let's make it nice and solid. Right about there. Come on, there we go. Let's see here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's make the background just a little bit darker. That background overlay, that might help it stick out just a little bit more. Too dark. Just right. Okay. This button here being transparent, I don't really like that, being that there's a busy picture behind it. So let's just make that, let's just give that a white background with orange text. That way these two buttons are kind of, let's make it so that when we hover over this one, it's going to have white text and an orange background. That way it kind of switches. Perfect. And on this one, let's do the same thing. Hover, got normal, text color is white, background color is orange. When we hover, we're going to do orange text and a white background. Yep. Excellent. Okay. Looks like this picture here is kind of getting cut off on the bottom. Or not that it's cut off, but there's kind of a weird blank space here. So let's fix that right quick. Let's go to the background picture. We've got it set to cover, cover, center, center. Let's try bottom center. Nope, let's try top center. That's a little bit better. But I think what we need to do is move this section up to cover it. Well, no, that's not doing it either. Oh, that's just part of the picture. Yeah, I still don't like that though. It looks like I really should just edit that picture. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay, let's see here. Let's move this back up to where it was. Do negative 75. No, not 0. Okay. Okay, that works. I don't really like the background of this. Let's see, let's change that to white. Nope, I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, here we go. We'll change that to white. We'll change this to white. And we'll change that to white. Okay, so this top section I'm happy with now. This works. This is what it's going to look like on screen. So we've got a little action here on the buttons. We've got our our call to action section, our nice hero image back there. Some pertinent information here for the customers. So now we can just move on and design any of the other sections that we want. I'm a big fan of putting your products kind of front and center. So I am going to put in a section here. Let's see, I'm going to give it a little margin. Kind of separate it from the section above it. We'll do 60 pixels. Let's put in a heading. We'll call this our products. We'll leave the orange, but I would like that to be a little bit heavier. There we go. And I'd like it to be a little bit bigger. So let's do that. Let's see here, our products. Let's make this section full width. Okay. I'm going to add some motion effect to it. Vertical, I want a horizontal scroll to the right. And I want it to go pretty quickly. And what I want is I just kind of want this, yeah, that's what I want. I just kind of want that text to come in when I need it. Let's see. There we go. Our products. By the time you get to it, it'll be right where I want it. Oh, whoops. Oh, door. Okay. So that part is good. Let's add another section here. And in this section, I'm going to put product categories. I'm just going to drop that in here. Right now, we probably only have a couple. Yep, we've got uncategorized and men's tees. So typically when I make a section like this, I try to always figure out how many categories I'm going to have, and I try to make it, a multiple of 2 so that this will be 2 even rows of products, or 3 or 4, or how many you have. So if you have 6 categories, I would suggest doing 3 rows with 2 columns or 2 rows with 3 columns. Okay, so I like that section. This section is okay. Let's drop in here. Let's drop in like a review section. Let's make it a 2-column section. We'll put a heading right here. And we'll put in, let's see, what's the name of this widget? Testimonial. Yeah, let's put in a testimonial carousel. I'll kind of make that a little bit wider. And let's adjust some settings on the carousel. Skin. Let's see what bubble looks like. Oh, I like bubble. Slides per view is 1, and slides to scroll is 1. I like, yeah, that width is fine, 100%. Arrows I'm good with. Let's style it just a bit. Space between. Border radius. No, we're not going to mess with any of that. Let's do the size of the arrows and the color of them. Let's make them that same orange. Then right here, let's see, what would we want to call this section? Or what would we want our header to be? Here is what our wonderful customers have to say about us. Alright. I'm not super thrilled. Let's put a divider below it just to kind of give it a little something. Let's kind of make it a little shorter. Make it a little bit thicker. That might be a little bit too thick. Let's try 6. Okay, that looks alright, but kind of getting a feeling like these sections are just kind of all falling together. I want to separate them a little bit somehow. I feel like this is okay. Let's maybe get to this section and give a little bit of background or something to kind of set it off from the rest of the page. Actually, let's not do that yet. Let's see what the background color is here on this section. I'm just going to add that. Oh, that didn't. Did that add the right color? No, it did not. There we go. Okay, now let's go up. Let's go back to this section. There we go. Now I've got this funny white this funny white border here. Let's see what we can do to get rid of that. Nope, that's not going to do it. Let's try another image. Oops. So we'll drop an image in there. And let's see. Oh, that looks nice. This might go with our color scheme. Okay, there we go. Now we're talking. So we've got this nice top image. We're going to have our products here. Just a little bit of, a little bit of information with some product samples, and we've got the testimonial section. Let's give this a little room to breathe on the top and bottom. I'll do 70 pixels on both sides. I don't really like where this is. I want these to be lined up, so let me change this back to top. And then we'll just give it a little bit of padding on the top just to kind of get it level with the top of those testimonials. Our specialization, we could put a lot of stuff here, but let's just get rid of that whole chunk. This guy's just part of the template. We don't need him. This section, this section, this is kind of cool. Let's change this. So what this is, clients, let's say shirts printed. Let's change that to like some high number, 957,522. 852. Okay, 4,000 projects. Okay. I'll say 4,512. Oh no, whoops, we'll call that cups of coffee. Yeah, we'll just get rid of this one. There we go. Graphic designers, production staff, customer service, service you can rely on. That all makes sense and looks good. This is kind of another section, it looks like, for testimonials. Let me go ahead and get rid of that section. Let me update it. And then let's just take a look at it. Okay, that's moving. That's kind of cool. Some people like motion graphics, some don't, so it's up to you if you want to use those types of functions. Okay, some recent projects. That would be a cool area for it's a cool area for like a photo gallery maybe. So we'll go back to Elementor. Let's see. Some recent projects. Let's do this. Let's get rid of this column. Let's put this in the middle. I don't know what all that gibberish is. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so this is an image gallery. Let's make this 6 columns. Let's make it 4. That looks a little bit too small. There we go, 4 columns. We'll get rid of all these pictures. Alright, let's go in and just select some pictures for for our photo gallery. I happen to have lots of pictures of my dogs, so there might be a few irrelevant pictures in this sample site. Okay, there we go. So we've got a nice gallery now. There we go. But there's this one picture here is kind of throwing everything off. Let's get rid of that and try to keep pictures that are all square. And I am kind of weird. I hate it when there's empty spaces like that, so let's just add 3 more. Okay, there's a screen, some dogs, and some koozies. Insert that. Okay, so now we've got a cool little photo gallery on there. Things are coming together. You know what? I don't like this. I don't like how this is. I don't like the animation on this, so let's get rid of that. Edit heading. And let's make this regular box layout. There we go. Let's update that. Actually, let's give this section some color, some background color. There we go. Give it a little bit more padding on the top and bottom. Let's try 140. $150 looks good. I don't like that blank open space there, so let's put that over there and put this in the middle. There we go. Let's update. Alright, let's check it out. Okay, so it's looking definitely looking better. That's a little bit too close now. Let's go back. You know what? I'm going to have a lot of products on this website, so I'm going to add a little bit more into this section. Now that this is not animated, I think the text is a little bit too big, so let's take it down. And let's put it in the middle. I'm going to add a section. And let's go up here, and I'm going to look for product search. Put that in there. Okay, perfect, perfect. That gives us a nice looking search bar. I'm just going to give it a little room to breathe. Okay, everything is looking good. You know what? I kind of want this to have a border. So let's do that. It's a little bit tricky here because this section is 3 columns. But let's do border solid. Let's just make it this dark gray. See how that looks. Top. Let's do 1 pixel. Oh, let's go here. Oops, 1 pixel. I'm going to unlink these because I don't need that right edge. Then on this one, solid, we're going to go that same gray, but we don't need one on the left. Gosh darn it. So let's see what that looks like so far. Okay, well, we don't need it on the left and we don't need it on the right. And that should be 1 and that should be 1. And now this one. Solid border. Same color. 1 pixel. We don't need it on the left. We do need it on the right. There we go. That looks a lot better. And we'll nope. We'll keep that the way it is. Okay, so it's coming together. The home page is starting to look acceptable. I'm going to go ahead and update it. Alright, now that we've got that updated, let's go back to the home page. Okay. It's getting there, it's getting there, it's getting there. I don't like how these dots are in the bottom gray section. Normally I'd go back and fix that, but I don't want this video to be like way longer than it should be. So let's move on. The design now. I'm just going to take a look at this page and see how it looks. Okay, it's got our default designer in there. I like our full width designer better, so I'm going to go to the admin. I'm going to go to Web2ink. I'm going to visit the Web2ink administration, which is where you control your design tool, your fonts, your clip art, and it's also where we store a lot of your images for you. So let's go to designer settings, maximized, and I'm going to go with orange gray and click on save. We can close that, go back here, refresh, it should change. Booyah, that looks way better. Okay, let's look at the product page. Okay, this looks pretty good. Pretty good. Browse by categories, and product categories is a little redundant, so I'm going to change that in a second. Open a store. So this page was already in the template, but it's very similar to Open a Store or My Account. So My Account is basically the same as the Open a Store page, except for some added content on the top that kind of explains opening a store. Because if you're letting people open their own stores, it's all managed through their account. So You definitely want to have a nice section up here if you're going to have an open a store page. And then as far as the account page, this is just where somebody would go where they would actually create their stores. Okay, let's see here. Let's go back to the home page and let's update some of the information down here in the footer to reflect some real links. This website's not going to have this many links. So let's jump back to the admin and create a menu that we would want to put down on the bottom there. So we're in the admin, we're going to go to Appearance and Menus. And so right now where this says Main Menu, this is my top menu. These are the options you're seeing are right here. So if I wanted to add, say I wanted to add our gallery page in there, I could just click that and click Add to Menu. For right now, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And we're going to, let's see what this other menu has on it. Primary menu, select. Yep. Okay, so let's go through the pages and see what we want to add here. Contact us, we've got. Let's add the gallery. Let's add the open a store. We'll go ahead and save this, and I'm just going to remember that this is called the primary menu. Okay, so we'll go back here, we'll go to footer. Alright, this is what we want to edit. So we're not going to have this many links. So let's just get rid of a whole column there, and let's kind of space these columns out a little bit better. We got plenty of room now. Actually, I can make that part wider. And then let's go ahead and change this. I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to put in a nav menu right there. This is going to be the primary menu, and it's going to be vertical. There we go. So let's make a couple little changes. Space between, we're going to keep it at the minimum. Vertical padding, we're just going to tighten it up a little bit so it's not, I don't want the letters touching, but definitely enough space to kind of navigate around them. And let's go ahead and change this to white. And let's do a rollover of that nice orange color. So there we go. That looks real nice. Right here, I'm going to change this from being a navigation. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to grab this whole section, put it right there, and get rid of this section. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Space between. And then what was below the logo, I'm going to add some social icons. Let's make them circles. And let's space them out a little bit. It's a little bit too big. Let's see. Oh, that's a little bit too small. There we go. That looks a little better, but this section here still kind of looks funny. The icons are just too small. There we go. So let's make those icons a little bit bigger. Let's kind of square this up a little bit. There we go. Let's make this text a little bit better looking. Okay, icon, list, there we go. Projects, I can get rid of that. Let's get rid of that, click save, come back here and update this. So we should see projects go away. I feel like there's one too many links in this menu right here, and projects is kind of redundant with gallery. This gallery is going to have pictures of projects that have been done. So let me refresh this page. We'll see how it looks. Okay, that's a little bit better. But you know what? With this dark background, I'm going to put in a different picture here. What is this? Edit site logo, content. Okay, so this is a section that automatically adds your site's logo here. So this is pulling the site logo from when we initially set it. I'm just going to get rid of that and drop in an image. And now let's choose my version of this. I have a second version of this logo, which is, there we go, more so for a dark background. That looks much better. Okay, now see, this is a little bit too big now. So let's adjust that space between. Perfect. I'll update that. Alright, so that's updated. Back on the website, let's scroll down to that footer. So the About, Services, Contact Us, Gallery, and Open a Store. So you can edit these from the front end the way that we've been doing a lot of this, just by going to the page and clicking Edit with Elementor. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll do it right quick for the About Us page. I'm going to keep this kind of short and simple. Okay, yeah, a little bit too much content on this page for what I like. Let's get rid of some of these sections. Let's replace this picture with a actual real picture. There we go, nice picture of me with a machete. But that's all the way at the bottom, we don't want it there. Let's go middle. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Oh, whoop, let me click on the image. Let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Now we're talking. This stuff, You could change it, but I'm just going to write some services in there. Screen printing. You might just say sign printing. Let's go over to this one. We'll do digital printing. And maybe for our last service, we'll say graphic design. And then, of course, you're going to want to write real information in there. Let's see here. Let's get rid of this. This would be a nice touch here where you can kind of put a little image about each service and maybe a link to that service. So let's see what we have here. These are image boxes. Okay, so let's throw a button in the bottom of each one. We'll put it in the middle and we'll say learn more. Then I'm going to duplicate that 2 times. I'm going to drag one over to here. And I'm going to drag one over to here. And I'm going to change these pictures. So we'll say, we'll use this one for sign printing. Maybe we use this one for DTG. And maybe we use don't see any good sign stuff, so let's make one for opening a store, which we could use this for. That would be kind of cool. That's not the same size. There we go. So now we can just go in here and say digital printing. Oops, that's the wrong image. So we can say screen printing, DTG printing, digital printing. That way your customers can come here, they can learn a little bit about you, a little bit about your company, and a little bit about your services, and they can easily navigate to a page where they can learn more. Or, of course, navigate to a page where they can see the products and start to do designs and place orders. Uh-oh. Okay, that will drive me nuts. This word here is not lined up. I'm just going to click on, let me update this page. I'll click on Edit Footer. Okay, yeah, that title, we gotta... There we go. Okay. So now let's go back here. Let's go back to the site and take a look around. Home. Okay, we did the About Us page, Services page. Same thing. You can put a bunch of cool stuff in there. Let's focus now on building out some categories and some products. So I'm back in the admin. I'm just going to go to Products, Categories. Oh, got to click it. Okay. So we've got men's tees. Let's do ladies' tees. Ladies' tees. Let's drop in some files for some categories. Let's just drop in all this. Okay, so all those files uploaded. I'm going to grab that one, click on Add a New Category. I'm going to delete this uncategorized category. And then let's just make a few more. We'll say kids apparel. Grab the picture of the kid for this category. And then let's say hats. Hats. Grab that picture of the hat. That's another category. Let's say beanies. Beanies. Let's grab that beanie picture. Add category. And let's say we'll do men's polos. Men's polos. Grab that guy. Ladies polos. Ladies polos. And the reason that you have to enter this twice is this first one is going to be the name that everybody sees. This is going to be the slug. So this is what's going to be in the actual URL of that category page. So ladies polos, let's grab her. Add new category. So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Definitely want to keep it at an even number so that I can have it look good on that section of the home page. So we'll do one last category. That'll be vinyl banners. You can of course make as many categories as you want, and you can make as many subcategories as you want. So for example, right here under kids apparel, say I want to say kids polos. Kids polos. And parent category, I can choose kids apparel. Then I could upload the appropriate picture. I don't know if I have a kids polo. Let's just say that's a kid. Upload that. And you'll see what happens here. You have kids apparel, and then this will have a dash right here, which means that it's a child category of the parent category, which is above it. So this is a subcategory. Top level category, subcategory. And you can even have subcategory if you want. So you could fill this back out and say the parent of this is kids polos. So you can have top level, subcategory, and subcategory. So that's pretty good for our categories for now. So let's go to Web2ink and we're going to import some products. Let's start with ladies tees. I'm going to open this in a new tab just so I can come back to this page and check the categories. Okay, so let's start with ladies tees. This part is fairly straightforward and easy. Let's let this page load up. This is the first time this website is connecting with the Web2ink server. So right now it's processing out everything we have on our server. So basically the first time you make a connection with either our server or really the first time you go in and make changes and edits and visit new pages and create new pages, it tends to go a little slower the first time around. So I'm going to say I just want a 30% markup on all the prices that I import. And I'm going to kind of base my search on brands. So I'm going to go Bella Canvas. And I know I'm looking for ladies tees, so I'm just going to type in ladies, which doesn't bring up very much. Type in woman. There we go. Some brands call them ladies tees, some are women's tees. So right now I've got all of these selected. I really just want the t-shirts right now, because when you import stuff, it's easier if you import it on a category basis. So I'm just going to click select none, and wherever I see the word t-shirt, I'm going to bring something in. Or tank top. Yeah, tank top's fine. Tank, shorty. See, I don't want the shorty, but I'll take the t-shirts. And I don't want the sweatshirts. But we'll take all the tanks and the tees. Crop tank, okay, fine. We'll count that. This was side slit, okay, sure. Okay, I'm going to click import. This process usually takes a minute because you're importing all of the photos, you're importing all of the order data, you're importing all of everything. So you can see as it goes, as they're imported, they'll change from black to green. So we've got a minute to wait here or so, and I'll probably just fast forward this part of the video for you. Okay, so all those women's t-shirts are imported. I'm going to go ahead and categorize them. So let's go back to products, all products. Then once I categorize them, I'm going to go and import a whole bunch of other stuff, and I'll fast forward through that part, but I'll keep track of how long it actually took to do. Like that, the import of the products I just did took about 2.5 minutes. And I imported 38 ladies shirts. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check up here and grab all of those ladies shirts at one time. But this page only has 30 items on it. So what I'm going to do, let's see here if I can. Oh no, let me just do this. So I'm going to grab all of these girl shirts, and I'm going to go to bulk actions, edit. I'm going to click apply. And I'm going to drop them all into ladies tees. I'll click on update. So right now the system is automatically taking all of those items that I just imported and putting them in the appropriate category. That's why it's a lot easier if you import stuff based on based on what category it will finally live on your actual website. Your categories might not match up with the vendor's categories and this, that, and the other, so it's good to just kind of import stuff based on how you're going to categorize it. So I'm just going to go to this next page and grab the rest of them. And do the same thing. Edit, apply. Ladies tees. Update. So now I'm going to go back to the website, and I'm going to go to the home page. And we're going to start to update this section right here. As you can see, now there's more pictures in there. But let's go ahead and edit this with Elementor. because I believe now I should have 8 categories, so I can make a nice section with 2 rows and 4 columns. So let's go over here. We will say 4 columns, and we'll say 8 categories, so that should give us everything. Oop, I might have 9. This last one is banners. Oop, you see what I did? I accidentally made an extra, oh no, kids polos, that's a subcategory. So let's just say we're only showing parent categories, so that should give us a set of 8. Perfect. Okay, awesome. Now you'll see men's tees has 13 products, the ladies' tees has 38 products. You can determine whether or not it's going to show this count. Let's see if it's right here. Show count. Oh, that might be order descending, ascending. Let's see what that does. That's probably just that's alphabetical. And when you're doing this, if you want to make a section that only shows a few products, you can just hit manual selection, and then you can literally just put in whatever categories you want. But for what we're doing, I just want to show all of the top level categories. So now that this is populated, you can see it's a little tight down here on the bottom. I'm just going to give this a little bit of padding on the bottom, or a little bit of margin, I should say, on the bottom. Let's try 60. And I think on the top we're good. Alright, let's update that. And I'm just going to take a look at the page. Okay, everything's coming together. So if I click on products, I'm going to go to the main product category. You know, this is going to show everything. If I'm on the home page and I go to a specific category, it's going to take me directly to just that category. And now if this category had subcategories, we could use this filter and fly it out, and you would see the subcategories listed like you do for kids polos right there. So we'll just close that, and of course you can sort them. Let's take a look and see how our product page looks. Okay, everything looks really awesome. All of the colored images are there. Everything looks great. We've got our instant price quoting here. You've got your Design Now button, your Express Design button, and your Create Design Template button. This Create Design Template button is only appearing because we're logged in. If you're not logged into the admin, this button will not exist, and your customers and people who have accounts on your website will not see this button. This is for the admins to create templates like family reunion shirts or grand opening banners or whatever type of template you want your customers to customize. So let's jump back to the admin. I'm going to import a whole bunch of more categories, and I'll keep track of how long it takes, and I'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright, so I just finished importing the last set of products, and I'm going to drop them into their categories, and we'll move on. Let's toss that one. Okay, banner, 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 banner. And let's drop these in the banner category. Banner. Click update. So that importing that I just did took exactly 30 minutes. And we started with 13 products. So now we've got 227 products. So one thing you definitely want to keep in mind when you're building your website is what products do you want to offer and how many products do you want to offer. So I see so many customers get into this mindset of I have to offer everybody every possible option, and that's not the best way to do it. So let's go back to our home page. I'm just going to refresh this. Okay, so now we've got all of our product categories in here. We've got 28 tees, 27 polos, 38 tees, 19 polos, 28 for the kids, 34 hats, 40 beanies, and 7 banner products. So let's just take a look at a couple product pages right quick. So this is the Bella Canvas baseball tee. Whoops. Let's see, all the colors are there. Everything looks good. We've got the instant price quoter. Everything's looking good there. Let's look at some of the banner product pages. Okay, everything looks good here. Vinyl banners. Okay, we want a 5 foot by 3 foot banner. Okay, perfect. Everything looks great. It's all working good. Let's go back to the admin and let's take a look at some product pages right quick. Let's first look at a banner product page. This banner pricing and banner printing is obviously very different than pricing or printing for screen printing or embroidery or anything like that. So I'm just going to go over this real quick. This is the product page. This is a link to that product. This is a link to the design tool with that product preloaded. These are the design settings, so we're going to allow it to be designed online. We're going to allow the express design. Since this is a banner and it's digitally printed, I'm going to allow for all over printing. And the product right here is going to be product price only. Let me just go ahead and update that. So this product, because it's a banner and it's priced with a square footage type of pricing, right here is where we control that. Where it says size, this is your minimum order. So the minimum order for this is 1 square foot. And the price for a single-sided banner is $3.50. And you can, of course, put the price whatever you want for a double-sided print. So let's say that's $5. Then let's say if somebody gets over 100 square feet in total, we're going to be at $3. And we'll say $4. And we're pricing this by the square foot. So I'll go ahead and update that. And now let's take a look at a product page for an apparel item. So let's just try men's t-shirts. I'll click on filter. This will bring up just the men's t-shirts. Okay, so let's take a look at an apparel product page. We'll check out this Bella Canvas baseball tee. I'm just going to click on edit, or you can click on the name. Right here, it's the same as the banner item that we were looking at. So we are going to allow people to design this online. We are going to use the Express. We will allow it in the Express design tool. I'm going to say yes for names and numbers on here. No for all over printing. And price quote on pop-up, I'm going to leave that unchecked because I like the price quote to come up on all the product pages. Print process, I'm going to say screen printing and DTG. I'll go ahead and do a quick update. And right here where it says product base price, this is the imported cost for one of those items. So if somebody's ordering DTG, they will be able to order one item. If someone's ordering screen printing, the minimum will be 12 because those are the settings that we created when we made our print pricing. But if I wanted to offer some price breaks here, I could just click add new row. And let's say if they get 12, they're $5.50. If they get 24, they're $5.25. If they get 50, we'll make them $5. If they get 250, we'll make them $4.75. Right here where it says size upcharges, this is the price increase when you get above extra large. This particular style only goes up to 2x, so there's only one field there. All of this is automatically imported, so you don't have to worry about it. And then that's the same way with all of the upsize or the upcharges for the colors. So all of that is automatically imported. You won't have to worry about it. Size charts are imported. And then down here, this is where you can drop this item into multiple categories. So say this being a baseball tee, you might have this in men's tees. But if you have a category for sportswear or athletic wear or performance wear, you might want to drop this in that category as well. So I'm just going to update this product. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the product page. Okay, so here we go. This is the unisex baseball tee. We've got all of the pictures in here. Let's check the pricing. White and red. I'm going to choose screen printing. And you can see it's not going to let me go below 12. If I choose DTG, it's going to let, there we go. Then I can select a quantity of 1. Down here your customer can put in if they've got names and numbers, or in the case of screen printing, they're going to put in how many colors per print location. So let's open it in the design tool real quick and take a look. So if you have an item with multiple print processes, when the design tool launches, that's when your customers are going to choose how they want it to print. So for now, let's just go with screen printing. And I want a different color. Okay, so that looks good. And then from here, it's going to be, we're just going to design the shirt online. So let's go ahead and do that right quick. I'll just grab a logo, upload it. This is 2 colors. We got black and we got a light blue. That looks good. Let's get this where it should be. And then I don't think we're going to go black on black, but let's take a look at a couple of other colors. There we go. Okay, cool. I still don't really like that. There we go. That might look cool. Okay, so now, we see this product looks fine. Everything's working. We'll go ahead and check out a hat product. Okay. All right, everything looks good. All the related products are down there. Category pages all look fine. So I think we're done here for now. Of course, if this were my website, I'd probably spend some more time on it, putting in some custom pictures and really kind of tightening things up a bit. But as you can see, using the design tools and the software, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, I mean, there's really nothing holding you back. You could make your website look literally however you want. Videos, animation, I mean, you could really do just about anything. Well, guys, that will conclude this video. Just a couple more quick things to show you. Once you get your website all set up and going, you're obviously not going to want to look at all of this setup information. So you can just go to this link right here and click on dismiss, and it will get rid of the tutorial and the startup links. If for any reason you want to get it back, you can go to screen options and just click on welcome and click apply, and it'll bring all of that information back. And I did map or set up the custom domain for this website. So if you want to take a look at this website that I designed, it's bigprintin.com. That's bigprintin without a G on the end, .com. If you guys have any questions or need any help getting your site going, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.